everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's RicketyGames. I'm Sydney and today we are back with Quantum Break. We are in Act 2. This is part 2 of Act 2. We are headed to the dry docks and we are set to meet Paul. Or we're trying to anyway, that he's allegedly there and we're trying to kind of obviously get revenge for our brother and figure out what's going on. And we're slowly figuring out more about Will, the important role that he played and is playing even though he's gone. Beth is coming to intercept us, and we've got our new bestie Nick, and if we all reunite, we're all on the same side, so like if we all reunite, then like we'll have like brother and sister in a way from like Control, right? In a weird way, we'll have the siblings like reunite. They'll have no idea, but they'll be reunited. It'll be great. I have no idea what hell is gonna break loose, but I'm ready for it. Kind of. Let's get into it. So does Beth have like Chronon powers? Because she's like an alternate to Jesse, and that's why Jesse also has powers.
But it was scrambled. It's impossible to crack.
Because like Tim Breaker also like bounces through time, right? But he just doesn't. He can't control it, so he has no idea because his alternate hasn't. Right? He's not Jack Joyce, but he's got like similar powers. So I wonder if Beth Wilder has like powers the same way that Tim Breaker and Jack Joyce do.
Huh.
Oh, it's gone. What the heck? Oh, I don't want to miss anything. Things are like appearing and disappearing. Okay, there's nothing else I checked. But someone call the FBC. Shit's getting weird. Time is just like stuttering. Sorry, it's kind of blinky because the lights keeps changing. Interesting. Alright, good to go.
It was overwhelming. Every unanswered question I had was compounded by what I'd seen at that workshop. The events at the university were part of something much bigger. Something that had started 17 years ago.
Leaving ground zero. Whoa. And it's sealed. So we just walked right through it. Woo. Okay, that's crazy trippy. The blinkiness is over too. Wow.
Okay, dry dock. Get to the dry dock. I'm almost there.
How clever.
Gotta get to Paul.
Yeah, we're trying, buddy. We're also trying to get the secrets because this is bigger than even your world. Speaking of, Charlie Wincott, trespasser alert to Monarch team leads. Alright, trespasser alert. Nick Marsters has escaped containment and is in the goddamn security station. Who's the fucking meathead responsible for watching over the university witnesses? Consider your contract terminated. How some spindly cab driver managed to get past you guys is beyond me. He's casually checking Facebook on a high-security Monarch terminal. Yes, Facebook. That's how safe he feels right now. Converge on his location immediately before he figures out how to do some actual damage. Oh, and remember Jack Joyce? The guy you were supposed to have apprehended? Yeah, he's still shooting his way through our entire operation. Get your shit together. Charlie. So Charlie is in a way more head security than like Liam. Liam's just like a middle management type. And he's like enacting things. I mean, he's a head-ish. Right, but Charlie knows everything and he's the one who can see everything too. And he can, obviously has a lot of clearance to give orders and whatnot. Nothing around there. Oh, anything over here? Alright, we're clear of everything. So crazy weird. Oh! Hello. Oh, excuse me. Why aren't you loaded? Let me through. One shot, one kill. Or two.
There was something wrong with Paul. Chronon syndrome. He'd had his powers much longer than me.
Alan Wake.
What was the cause? Was I sick as well, or was it his time travel?
We're probably sick too.
I didn't know. It didn't make anything he'd done any less hateful.
Also true. Sudden Stop. The final Alex Casey novel by Alan Wake. This copy is signed by the author and dedicated to Emily Burke. Intel objects found 1 of 1. Oh. That's cool. From Dr. Sophia Amaral, Dr. Kim's lab, and Serene's treatment to Fiona Miller. Fiona, I share your concern. Paul's treatments... Fiona Miller. Oh, that's the lady who was trying to date, Charlie. Fiona, I share your concern. Paul's treatments are becoming increasingly ineffective, and I hypothesize that the onset of the fracture will increase the Cronon syndrome's rate of progression exponentially. I've been trying to make a more calculated approach at finding a permanent cure for Paul's sickness, but Martin Hatch has shifted all necessary resources into our tech division instead. I'm beginning to question his behavior. Every attempt I've made to discover a cure has been met with Martin's red tape. Just between us, I do start to wonder if Martin even wants Paul to be cured. I've looked into Martin's past. He began work for Monarch in 2001, but I couldn't find any records about his past or any aspect of his life before then. It's almost as if he disappeared out of nowhere. He was the only one present during the accident that claimed Dr. Kim's life. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I do wonder what his agenda truly is. Regarding your question, unfortunately, there is nothing of value in Dr. Kim's lab aside from Paul Serene's treatments and confidential files that would be of no use to your research. We will have to find another way to develop a cure. Sophia from Fiona, this is what she was inquiring about. Dr. Amaral, would it be possible for me to gain access to Dr. Kim's lab in order to search for any files that might assist our research? I am concerned about the slow progress in developing a permanent cure for Paul Serene's Cronon syndrome. The treatments are only a temporary solution. I know that Dr. Kim was close to discovering a cure at the time of his death. I know that you use this lab to administer Paul Serene's treatments, but if I could borrow your keycard during the gala tonight, perhaps I could investigate this further while everyone is occupied with other matters. Okay, so she wants to try and find a permanent cure. That's interesting. So she's on the research team and obviously under Sophia Amaral. So that's something. And but if she has plans... Oh, she's not trying to date Charlie. She just charmed him to go so that he wouldn't be on the cameras so she could snoop the lab. That's it. Beth Wilder, read Jack to Fiona Miller. Fiona, William Joyce is dead. Our only shot at stopping this thing is Jack. He can lead us to countermeasure, and I still believe that. So she's on the good guys. That's why she wants to snoop. That's why she wants Charlie out of that office so that he doesn't see her trying to get information. Okay. Alright, it's coming together. He can lead us to the countermeasure. I still believe that. Serene got to Jack first at the university. Too much heat for me to intervene. He's being moved to Ground Zero. I'm following the convoy there and will rescue him once his transport is past security checkpoints. Not going to be easy, but it might be our only shot. Keep Charlie Wincott distracted so he's not looking over the security feeds. Boom. My cover won't last much longer. You need to be my eyes on the inside. I agree you should check into Dr. Kim's lab and let me know what you find. I know gaining access will be difficult, but with the gala tonight you might have a window. Might be able to steal Dr. Amaral's keycard. I will contact you once I'm on the other side. And this is from Fiona to Beth. Beth, they're saying that William and Jack Joyce have both been detained. Did you manage to get to William first? Did he reveal the location of the countermeasure? You said you could get Jack out of there. What happened? Interesting developments over here. With the team focused on the university op, I managed to dig through an old email correspondence between Paul Serene and Dr. Kim. The content of the messages is very cryptic, but before he died, Dr. Kim was running some kind of test from his lab, and William's research and a device related to this were somehow connected to what he was doing. Did he know about the countermeasure? I think I need to get into Kim's lab and find out more, but that place has been on restricted access since he died. Not a lot of choice, though. If Jack and William are in custody, then the lab may be our only lead left. I'm just not sure how to do it. I sure as hell can't just ask somebody to let me in there. And then their solution was to ask Dr. Amaral to look for a cure for the research, and she says no, obviously. Interesting. And this is all of Paul's scans. 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Nice, nice. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, we got that. Alright. Now the door has to close and then open. Oh, no, the other one has more bullets. I will take it. Anybody boys hanging out? There's a whole thing over here, and it's destroyed to hell. For a party? Is this where the gala's gonna be? Almost seems like it. Seems too destroyed, though. I think they would do it in a place nicer, like the university hall or something like that. Just worth checking, anyways. Moving on. So Beth and Fiona are working together.
Yeah.
Jack, you have to understand that Will forced my hand.
What the hell happened to you?
There's no use fighting.
You killed him!
I'll explain when the time is right. You'll meet me tonight at the Monarch Gala.
Gala? Time's ending and you're having a fucking party.
Because when time ends, my plan...
We do this now. I'm not meeting you at...
Yes, you are. I've already seen it happen.
What if I don't?
Seen what? What's this all for?
Goodbye, Jack.
No!
My guess is that he's trying to ensure the best possible outcome, what he thinks is the best possible outcome of this future, which is why he wants to ensure that everything follows that order, that timeline. But it'll be interesting to see if Jack makes choices to defy it, and if he does so, if that's not included in Paul's plan. Like, if there's a way to change Paul's timeline instead of going through the motions of it, if that makes sense. From Clarice Agawa, Liam Burke's status to Martin Hatch. Sir, given the very recent events at the dry docks, I now see exactly what you mean. Clearly you were right about Burke's loyalties being more fickle than they appeared. Of course, we have plenty of unanswered questions about how it came to this. To begin with, I don't see why Burke would be involved with Joyce. There is no way he did it out of some kind of altruistic urge. There has to be more to it. We know Burke didn't divert Joyce's transport since whereabouts at that time are accounted for. So there has to be somebody else involved too. I'm looking into it. This is from Martin Hatch to her. Clarice, I understand why you consider Mr. Burke an asset to our future plans. Unfortunately, while he is an exceptional individual, he is less stable for the kind of duties you have in mind than may be immediately obvious. I'll explain. Yes, he was trained as a striker, but Mr. Burke was disqualified for good reason. The men we have chosen to be strikers have strict physical requirements, a certain moral flexibility, and the kind of killer instinct you have to be born with, cultivated to a fine degree. A ferocious knack for survival. Mr. Burke certainly has those qualities. He wasn't disqualified from the striker program because he lacked them, or because he couldn't wrap his head around the technical aspects of operating the technology. In fact, his performance was exceptional, so I fully agree with you that he is an impressive operative. But strikers, by their very nature, have to be made aware of Project Lifeboat and its purpose, and, at least on a general level, that means they have to be able to accept its implications. Unfortunately, Mr. Burke had a deep attachment to his wife, and the fact that if we brought Mr. Burke in, that wouldn't guarantee a spot for her in the program. To be blunt, we don't need any more nurses, and we're already at capacity overall. We need Mr. Burke, but we don't need his wife. Mr. Burke would never accept that, particularly now that Mrs. Burke is pregnant. Therefore, it's vital that he doesn't understand the nature and the scope of the threat we face. As for having him play a role in other aspects of future developments, I suspect that despite his seemingly amoral nature, Mr. Burke may have other qualms he is not consciously aware of. If he ever has to truly make a choice between conflicting loyalties, he may take a stand on principle and elect to act against his own best interests. This is not a chance I'm willing to take. So he already knew somewhat. And then, alright, this is her email to him. Sir, I've been thinking about Liam Burke. I know you've worked closely with him for a while now, and he's been useful. But there are assignments we can't use him for because of his insufficient security clearance. For instance, having to keep him in the dark about much of what will happen at the university, about the stutters we're expecting, about where it will lead, makes him a far less effective field operative than I prefer, and causes quite a bit of logistical difficulty given that he's still going to be a part of the operation. And frankly, it feels like wasted potential. I'd like you to consider the possibility of bringing Burke into the fold. He's completed most of the striker training, and even though he didn't finish the program, he made an impression on me as a tremendously capable asset. His service record is exemplary, and he has a well-earned reputation as somebody who gets things done, no questions asked. By the same token, I would love to include Burke in our long-term plans. We could use a man like him in our corner, and I could deploy him far more effectively. Let me know what you think. She's obviously one of the higher-ups for security, which is why she's also interrogating Joyce in the future. And this tells us a little bit more about Liam. Liam is a lot more ruthless than I thought he was. We kind of got to see in the episode a much more moral compassed, morally led, I don't know, I guess, softer side of Liam. So it's interesting kind of see that he has that killer instinct and he can be the operative that they want him to be, but his attachment to his wife is what got in the way, obviously. Interesting. Alrighty, let's keep going. But don't run like a drunkard. Oh, the reading is so long-winded. Each one. Oh. And there's more. Manuel Porretta. Porretta? Isn't that Matthew Porretta? Last name reference to Alan Wake. Martin Hatch. To Martin Hatch. Martin. First of all, I have to again register my objection. What are you having me do under the guise of a psych evaluation is a blatant violation of Liam Burke's doctor-patient confidentiality, and the only reason I'm doing this is because you leave me no other choice. Now, I recognize that in the world to come, our current rules and legislation, even our standards of morality, may no longer be applicable, but we aren't there yet. You and Mr. Serene are placing long-term mental well-being of hundreds of individuals in my hands, and I'm telling you, right now, if they don't trust not only me, but the system that puts all of us in particular positions, there's no way we can recover from it. On to Burke. It is my considered professional opinion that the man is a bit of a powder keg. For all his calm exterior, he's under a tremendous pressure. I understand your reasoning for pulling him out of the Striker program, but what you have essentially done is instill in him a sense of encroaching doom. He doesn't know the specifics, obviously. He didn't make it far enough into the program to be briefed on that, but he knows that we're preparing for a future threat that is somehow related to the flow of time being interrupted, and that there are dangers out there, dangers that we have specifically been training the Striker units for. There are men who are content to merely follow orders and let others worry about the consequences. Burke is not one of them. He is willing to commit acts of violence without asking why, but don't mistake that lack of qualms for blind obedience. Burke needs agency. He has a fundamental need to feel in control of his life, and you have put him in a position where that's no longer possible for him. He is good at seeing patterns and drawing accurate conclusions from the facts available to him, and has deduced, quite correctly, that he was being trained for a specific scenario that Monarch believes will happen. He is also painfully aware of the fact that if and when that scenario arrives, he will not be a part of the solution. He understands the nature of the Striker suits, that they are only useful in a zero-state situation, and he understands that in such a situation, a man without a Striker suit is essentially dead. He doesn't know about the lifeboat protocol, obviously, but if he did, he'd also know that he is not a part of it. Either way, the bottom line is that he is in a hopeless situation. He fears the end of the world is coming, and he knows that if it does, the only way he could survive is with the technology Monarch has denied him access to. He doesn't understand the details, or even the exact nature of that end of the world, but that just makes it worse. Fear and lack of understanding breed tremendous anxiety, Mr. Hatch. He may not show it, but believe me, Burke feels it. For himself, for his family. It may interest you to know that his wife is pregnant. You can understand how that adds to the pressure. To be honest, given the parameters we're operating under, I don't know how to resolve this. In Burke, you have a tremendously efficient operative, but you put him in an impossible situation. I believe he will remain effective as long as he doesn't have reason to believe the scenario he fears is imminent, but once he believes it has arrived, all bets are off. That is, unless you can give him hope of survival, but at this point, resentment and suspicion are starting to turn into paranoia, and frankly, I'm not sure he would trust either of us anymore. And speaking of trust, I recommend you think about what I said in my opening paragraph, Martin. Our greatest challenge and greatest assets in the subject of years to come won't be technological, but all too human. Don't make the mistake seeing people as entries on a spreadsheet. He cracked. So that's something. That's why he's making the choices that we're seeing him make. And he's getting worried. So there's a much deeper history with Liam of why he was kicked out of the Striker units that has contributed to his betrayal of Monarch, but also his willingness to trust someone like Beth Wilder, and he didn't immediately shoot her like he could have. Alright. From Charlie Wincott to everybody about Nick Marsters. Yo, so I looked into Nick Marsters' guy. In short, he's a sad little joke. I don't even know why we're wasting time on him. He used to be a pretty promising football player. He actually got drafted by the Rexes, which I guess you can consider an achievement if you give a shit about that sort of thing, which I don't. Not that he ever went anywhere because he messed up his knee in a car crash on the night of getting the news, and that was it for his big career. There's no police report on this, but looking at his social media at the time, seems like he was out celebrating pretty hard, so I'm pretty sure he had no business getting behind the wheel in the first place. In an apparent attempt to prove the universe runs on irony, he now drives a cab. License and permits check out. He's got 8 unpaid parking tickets, a couple more for speeding, pretty much what you'd expect. No relatives except his father, but the old man's in the hospital and pretty much dead to the world from what I can tell. Looks like Marster's on a dozen different dating apps with very limited success. Big surprise. And he seems to be seriously into weird conspiracy theories and bullshit like that, only without the usual crazy racist frothing at the mouth. It's all pretty dumb and surprisingly entertaining. I'll be honest, I don't think anybody believed anything he said, but hey, you guys deal with him however you want to. That's your business. Charlie. Interesting. So that's kind of why he was so psyched to be like, oh, it's all real. Oh, they're loading me up. Oh, that has way more bullets. We're taking that one. And we found all the narrative elements. So that's good. I think we're finding all the things. Oh, we can't run anymore. Have we made it to something? Is that Paul?
Sir.
Oh, it is Paul.
Paul. Stop! Come back, God damn it!
Don't.
Whoa. He did that. He just went with his hand. Oh, shit. Whoa. He looks satisfied, but also sad. Whoa. That's cool as fuck. He knew it would happen too.
Shit.
He knew the stutter would come.
Come on.
Wow. Oh, this game is terrific. Get out of here. He also knew we would be fine, right? Because we have to meet him. Can I not go? Oh, I can But just for a second. Oh god, run like a bitch before we get smushed. Are we safe here? Whoa! Oh god, I got it. Oh! Crushed. Okay, so I think it's too fast for us, so I think we need to freeze it up there. There we go. Oh! Oh, got it, I got it. Dashy dash. I forgot. When not in combat, I just
Stutters
forgot.
were getting bad. He's shifting back and forth without warning. At the time, I didn't think it could get much worse.
But we both know it did.
Don't get stabbed. Whoa. Oh. I see it, I see it.
That's gonna hurt.
There we go. I got it. Oh my god, I'm getting hurt by things. Oh. Up here. I'm getting the hang of it. And everything shifts backwards. Trippy and weird. Oh no!
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I managed to Buster Keaton it up here. So it fell, but it
Need to
froze.
get the hell out of here.
Oh, goodbye. creepy as fuck.
Jesus!
It feels like every moment could be like,
close, Jack.
yeah, a little close.
It's like a goddamn maze in here.
It is like a maze. Good call, buddy. Floaty. We're trying to get out, but also not get smushed. Oh,
Okay.
I love it. It's cool.
Keep going.
Very clever.
Oh, no, not again.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Twice. Saved by the little opening here. Oh. Oh shit.
Great. More of you assholes. Okay, here we go.
Where is he? Oh, I see, I see. Whoa, they're everywhere. Ooh, I gotta get out of here. The dead guys are a little confusing. Floating around there. Nope, that's a dead guy. We got one. I think there's one more. Yo. Nice. Oh, no, there's more. There we go. I thought that was I thought the other one was slow motion moment. Whoa. All right.
Beth had been on her way to meet me. I expected she was frozen somewhere up there, by the side of the dry dock.
Or maybe not. Maybe she's got power to do the thing. To like not get caught up in it. You know what I mean? Or maybe she has tech too, but I bet she can control like time herself or something. Any documents for me? I think we found everything, but I just want to be sure, obviously. Okie dokie, I think we're good. On we go. Going up. Before everything comes down on me. Literally.
My exact words were, don't do anything stupid.
I've never been a great listener.
Well, time to start. Get in.
What if I don't trust you?
Then shoot me.
Straight up. Oh, and there's Nick.
Look, I'm sorry, but I'm taking the van.
That's for not listening to me back there.
Ow.
You want to stop time from breaking down? You need my help.
Ow.
And thanks, by the way, for the +1 in the back seat. Starting to feel like goddamn babysitter.
She scares me, Jack.
I think she didn't scare anybody. She just fucking baby pistol whipped him to the fucking face.
My ride, my music. Deal with it.
Oh, we can't hear it because I turned off the copyright music.
I love this song.
Me too. The sound of silence.
What led you to the swimming hall?
Oh, Will said there was something important in his briefcase. All I found was a key with Bradbury Swimming Hall on the chain. Only lead we had. I guess this is it.
What was your brother doing in this shithole?
Perfect place to hide something you don't want found.
Oh, roll credits.
I think it's time you tell me what you know.
Out here in public?
I know your brother built the one thing that can stop the fracture. I know we're meant to find it, and I know Monarch doesn't want us to.
And yet you're wearing their uniform.
I like the way their pants fit.
I agree.
Tried to create a cover to gather information. You've known about this for a few hours. I've been preparing for it for most of my life.
You weren't aware that William owned the place?
There's a lot I didn't know about Will.
Oh, he owned the
We
swimming
need
pool?
to find your brother's countermeasure. And fast. Things will get worse as the fracture progresses. And Monarch will be turning Riverport over looking for you.
Yeah, we're on the run anyway. Oh, so did I get everything? Oh, I didn't! Son of a bitch! Worse than the first chapter, too. 72, not 75. I had a feeling I was missing something, because, like, there were so many sprawling areas. I guess I just didn't explore enough. But we are doing a little bit better with our quantum ripples, intel, chronon sources, things like that. So it kind of tells you, like, per category. Like, I found the intel, it goes 1 of 1. That was the Alan Wake book that belonged to Liam Burke that was signed. And stuff like that. So it kind of tells you, like, out of each category, but it doesn't tell you. I guess I just got to keep better track of, like, okay, like, there are 6 categories and then all that jazz. I definitely didn't teleport through time at all. I'm totally in the same time and place I was from before. Let's explore out here a little bit, just to... I am. AWE! So that's the second graffiti that we've seen of that, which is very cool.
There's no way in over here.
No, I'm aware. I'm trying to find things.
Jack, that key you got from Will's briefcase.
I'm aware. But are you aware of the possible secrets that we could find?
We need that key of yours over here.
Hey, Nick. This looks a lot like your taxi.
Can't be. I parked it way back at the... Holy shit! That's my goddamn license plate. How the hell did it get here?
I don't know. I have a feeling somebody beat us here.
I was gonna say,
This is all connected.
what are the chances?
Some kind of message. Think, Nick, think. 01122.
Teleporting taxis.
01122.
I don't know if your little math equation back at the warehouse is really where it's at, buddy, but we'll crack it. But this is interesting, and I mean that was kind of what I was thinking. Is like, what are the chances that a random taxi from the taxi driver that we had is here? Oh, I love it. So far, it's kind of like Fringe in a way, but more actiony as well. Hi, I can talk to you.
How you holding up?
I'm sure
I've
he's
been
having
better,
an existential
but
crisis.
at least Monarch's feeling the heat. I checked online. Big anti-Monarch protests going on all over the city. I took some crazy pictures to fuel the fire, man.
There you go.
Just hold off on posting anything for now, okay?
All right, but I'm getting antsy.
I love his character in this. He's really creepy as Dylan. To know that he's actually Dylan too makes a big difference too. We got brother and sister here in the same frame. Do you feel like floating? Do you feel like there's like a hiss kind of, you know, coming after you? Let's hope not. If you feel any like, if you feel hissy, let me know, okay? Hello, ma'am. I can't have a conversation with you? Okay. I'll let us in the door.
Key doesn't fit.
Well, shucks.
Any ideas how to get inside?
Break the window.
The whole building's falling apart. There's gotta be an opening somewhere.
She stands so military, and I stand so like I'm on the run. And Nick's over here just chilling. Okay, well, I figured there's an open window right
Hurry
there.
up, Jack. We need to get inside.
You have legs, you could do it.
Can you find a way in, Jack? We shouldn't stay out here.
No shit. Ma'am, I was exploring. But now I'm looking for a way in. So it looks like there's scaffolding that goes right underneath the window. Oh, there's a rock. I'm looking at the window. And it goes around the building. So it's gotta be back here. Ah ha ha. Can we move this out? No. Not little nightmares? No. Can we move the car? Sorry, Nick. Oh my god, look, it's that thingy. Isn't that a thingy that Will was tampering with? Is that the countermeasure? We definitely want to get up there. Oh. Oh, would you look at that? We can move the trash can, just not physically. Well, I guess maybe physically, but like a little different. Oh, it's back. So the scaffolding's back because the picture's back. And then leap. Yeah, baby. Whoa. Up here. I got legs. We can jump.
Hey, think I found a way in.
Ooh. Don't need to knock on the door 27 million times, Nick. Just trust, alright, buddy? Oh. They want us to rewind. Oh, hello. We get some upgrades. A 1 of 5. I can upgrade, right? Yeah, baby. Active pulse. And then the ones below cost a little bit more. They cost 2 instead of 1, which I didn't really realize until now, so that's fine. So let's do the pulse. Should cover all of our bases anyway. I really want to do like the ones that I use the most, like the shield and stuff, but we gotta do a little bit of everything if we want to be well-rounded. So that's cool. So we got that. Nice. Alrighty.
Okay, I've got it. I have a theory how my taxi ended up here.
Oh yes.
Your taxi, what?
1122. It's located south of here.
I swear if
left
his
my
zip
car
code
at the
theory is
university,
anything.
It ended up here. It went south. Now you said time is like broken? What if space is broken too, and everything is being pulled towards this zip code? 01122.
Can we backpedal a bit? What about your cab?
Okay. I'll explain later, honey. I gotta Google this.
Honey is fighting words, fucker. Is this uppity doodah? Oh shit. Did we run into a stutter? Oh.
Damn it. These stutters aren't going away.
No, they ain't.
All of Monarch's plans may be centered around.
She's like, shut up. She's probably dying out there with him. 1999.
Both years show.
Ooh, look at this. This is cool.
Will had used the building to hide away his personal items.
Interesting. Well, let's looky then, shall we?
What the hell were you doing here, brother? Time travel experiments with rats?
Schrödinger, the first chronaut. That's amazing.
Okay, May 17th, 1998. This is William Joyce, and I'm about to conduct the first animal test of the machine prototype using my trusty pet mouse, Schrödinger, in order... Where? He's gone. Where'd he go? Shit. Come on, Schrödinger. Come to Willie. Come on, come on, come on. You're okay. You're all right. You're all
He's
right.
like, damn straight I'm not. I'm gonna be sent through
Okay, finally, we're sending Schrödinger into the machine clockwise through the corridor, which will send him 5 minutes into the future, meaning he will reemerge exactly 5 minutes after he enters the machine. It has now been 3 minutes. No sign of Schrödinger. This is a very good sign. 2 minutes to go. Okay, so yeah, turns out he just kind of sat inside the corridor for 5 minutes, took a shit on the tubing. This reveals a very clear flaw in my test. My mouse is an idiot.
Well, he's just a mouse. He's got big shoes to
Okay,
fill,
the machine
though.
is warming up again. Should be able to activate test number 2 in around about 5 minutes and 15 seconds. It's now clear the only quantifiable test will be travel to the past. The machine is now calibrated to send Schrodinger 5 minutes into the past, which means that he will now be traveling counterclockwise through the corridor, and when he comes out the other... Holy shit. Holy shit, it worked. This is clear proof that it's... What I'm now looking at is a future version of the same mouse that has successfully traveled 5 minutes into the past. Schrodinger, meet future you. Ow, that fucker bit me.
So I'm guessing he gets the same effect, right? Where you have, for a second, the two of them interacting with each other, right? We saw both Pauls, and then one has to go and complete the loop, essentially, right? And you swap places through time, in a way, in order to complete the loop. So I'm guessing that's how he knows that it's Schrodinger from the future that shows up in the past, right? So there's that.
$12,000 moving bill. He must have hauled a lot more to this place than just some old boxes.
Damn, dude. Okay, Riverport Discrete Moving Services Bill. Riverport Discrete Moving Services, no questions asked. You pack, we move. I love that. Moving dates, March 1st to March 28th, 1999. From the workshop of William Joyce, 821 Industrial Lane, Riverport, to Bradbury Swimming Pool, 261 Bradbury Street, Riverport. Client's name, William Joyce. Special instructions, extremely delicate boxes. Contents are confidential, packed boxes not to be inspected, pickup and drop-off only. Shipping 17 truckloads over the course of 17 days. $12,713. Holy smokes. That's interesting. 2 out of 11.
You owned this place since 1999? Why didn't you tell me, Will?
He was busy. So were you. It sounds like just barking down the wrong tree, maybe. Will, I put all of your paperwork regarding the purchase of the Bradbury swimming pool in this folder. I knew you'd lose track of the documents otherwise. I've made sure that the purchase can't be traced back to your funds from the research grant. I don't know what you're up to, and it's none of my business to ask, but we've known each other long enough for me to say this. I trust that you know what is best for you, but I can't pretend that I'm not concerned. Your career is showing so much promise, and your recent actions feel like a drastic turn in a direction I can't begin to understand. I kept my promise, and I haven't told Jack or anyone else about this, but he's worried about you, even if he doesn't know how to show it. Jack hasn't heard from you in months. He needs you. Your attorney and friend, Allison Cunningham. March 29th, 1999. Interesting. So everybody kept it a secret from me?
No wonder you were always coming up with crazy shit.
Is this supposed to be weed? Whole dried up weed plant? That's funny. Okie dokie.
And we're back. This is Bobby Radford with the latest. We've got an official statement from Monarch Solutions, and it's just what you'd expect, really. You know, your typical slick, mealy-mouthed bullshit. I'll sum it up for you. As far as they're concerned, the whole thing was some kind of an accident with the premature demolition. Some lives were tragically lost due to that. They're investigating. Essentially, they're saying, no comment, don't worry about it. Nobody has access to the site right now. All we know is what they tell us. Thing is, there were a lot of people there. Some people I know personally. Seems to me a lot of folks ain't answering their phones now. So what's that mean, huh? I think it means that we...
Oh, he just got cut off the radio. Yeah, a lot of people.
So what am I
7.
saying? Well, they got lots of lawyers, so I'm not saying anything other than this whole thing stinks to high heaven. I don't understand it, but I can smell a goddamn rat. This shouldn't be happening. This is Riverport, USA, damn it, not some third world hellhole where nobody gives a crap. Somebody's gonna have to take responsibility here. Who's it gonna be, huh? Call me up on the phone now. I want to talk to you.
Nick has got ideas. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's funny. So I guess his producers were like, no, you're not saying anything because we're gonna get our funding pulled and shut down. I thought it was Monarch, and they got to him. A lot of people are not answering their phones. 7 to be exact. I'm sorry. Like, we had to know what was happening. So this looks like the same room as the other side. Yep. Okay. Look at these fine fellas over here. Old swimming pools. Oh my god, is Nick knocking? Is it like a crazy person again?
Any luck in there?
Working on it.
Ah. I'm exploring. Just chill.
Yeah, just hold on.
There's personal stuff here. It's my brother and he's toast, man. Beth, play video.
July 4th, 2010.
The hell is this?
Wilder, I'm addressing this video to you. You told me to stay away from my workshop, but I couldn't just leave it there. I went back to get it, and the entire place is a disaster zone. The countermeasure, gone. Taken. Oh, shit. The safe, empty. I just need to know you have it, because if it falls into the wrong hands, its power is immeasurable. Our future, our entire lives depend on it. This can't all be for nothing. You know where to find me. Please, hurry.
The video made it clear that he'd been working with Beth in the past. Made me wonder what else she was hiding.
Should I wait for her?
Let's try this again. Nope.
Well, I'm sure I'll have to find a way around. Okay, let's let them in first, because it seems like I'm just gonna leave them behind. Okay, okay. Maybe she has the key? Hello? She's so annoyed. She's like, you left me out here with him. Bruh.
Alright, let's take a look around.
Come on, bruh.
Down here.
About time.
I already did. Now how about you tell me how you know Will?
I've never met your brother.
I find that hard to believe considering the video I just watched.
What are you talking about, Jack?
See for yourself. It's in the next room.
Interesting. I wonder if a different sequence plays if I don't find that before
This note.
the door.
It's directed at me.
July 4th, 2010. Beth Wilder, I'm addressing this video to you. You told me to stay away from my workshop, but I couldn't just leave it there. I went back to get it, and the entire place is a disaster zone. The countermeasure, gone. Taken. Oh, shit.
What the...
The safe, empty. I just need to know you have it, because if it falls into the wrong hands, its power is immeasurable. Our future, our entire lives depend on it. This can't all be for nothing. You know where to find me. Please, hurry.
You know where to find me.
2010. Holy shit.
What was he talking about?
He recorded that for me in 2010? What the fuck? And he said the countermeasure's gone? It's not good. We need to figure this out. Let's keep looking.
No shit. So, okay, so that I guess that makes sense because it's 2016 in the game. So that's from the past, and basically Jack is saying that she and Will knew each other. She's
I
saying
need help moving this.
that we didn't. One moment. And basically she's saying that, like, from the past, he's talking to her now, which would be the future compared to 2010, and that he is addressing things to her when he doesn't know her yet, and she doesn't know him yet, right? But clearly there is something where he went to the future. Okay, it's my brain. He knows something about the future. He met her there. They made this plan. He went back to his time, which is probably 2010, right? Because he was trying to prevent this from happening. And he's been working on this whole time, right? Ever since Paul disappeared, right? It has to be something like that. But if he's dead, how would he ever know? My brain. We're just gonna continue. That looks locked there.
Jack, your brother addressed that video to me, but I've never met him before in my life.
Well, it sounded like he thought you had his countermeasure.
I wish. But he said it was stolen on July 4th, 2010. Somebody took it.
It's awfully close to now. 14 years ago. Yeah, baby.
But I'm hoping this place will help us figure out who.
Taking out the doors. One at a time. Hee-haw. Okay. We opened the door.
I'll give you the honor of pressing the button.
Thank you, ma'am. I like feeling special. Is there anything else, though, before we push said button? Oh, no. What? Yeah, a little bit, right? Is this what we couldn't get into before? Oh, wait a second. Looks like we're gonna have to do the power or something, so this is where we have to go anyway. This is what I always do. I always explore, and then it goes, oh, well, you can't do that. Do we go on this side? Nope. Okay. Let's push the button. Pushy red button. Or it opens. Damn it, I should have explored the wires.
Is that?
Yeah, I think so. Second time machine. This changes everything.
Interesting.
If we can get this thing working, then we don't need that countermeasure. We can change everything. What if we stop the fracture from ever happening in the first place? We can go back to yesterday, undo everything in the past before it happens. Nobody dies. Paul doesn't go through the machine. Monarch never exists. I mean, the fracture never occurs.
Jack, wait. Let's think this through. That's not how it...
I can go into the machine like Paul did at the university. I helped them set it up. Then we activate the core, put the corridor in place, and set the date. I can do it, Beth.
I'm not so sure we can do this without the countermeasure. But you're right. We'll need the machine.
Right. Let's start with the core.
Let's see if it works also.
What the shit?
I love this man.
I saw some kind of visions of this machine in his workshop. You must have hid it here.
What is this? A goddamn spaceship?
Did you not hear, man? It's a time
Okay,
machine.
core controls. Where are they?
He's taking a picture. Don't take pictures. Okay, but if there's a second time machine, that means at any point Will could have gone back. Assuming it works and it's complete, right? But maybe because of the paradox thing, right? You go back in time to stop a thing that didn't happen, but that's precisely the thing that triggers the event. The countermeasure maybe is a device. I mean, I don't know anything about this thing, but I'm guessing that it's maybe a device that you take with you when you go through the time machine that kills the timeline, so that kills the other options of the timeline. Or so, I don't know how that would work. I don't know. But something like, basically, it would basically eradicate the other possibilities, so that whatever that you do in that past becomes final. Something like that? I don't know. I'm gonna stop guessing, because I'm just gonna sound dumber every time. I'm going to explore these wires. One moment. Chronon source.
Alright.
Hell yeah. So there's a bunch of them. So I need to start stockpiling them. Basically. I'm out of basically single ones. So that's a thing. So we'll stockpile it. We need to get to like 4, 6, 2, you know, kind of more increments of them in order to do some more upgrades. Okie dokie.
Hey, I found a map with the entire layout of this place.
Wow, you kind of went off. I love that they just kind of explore. Ma'am.
You said Will built a countermeasure. What makes you so sure this isn't it? The time machine.
Yeah, I guess we don't know what
He
it
said the
is.
countermeasure was stolen. But the machine is still here.
There's that. And also, isn't it that tiny thingy? He said it was from the safe, so it has to be small. And I think it's that little device that we've seen, like, a glimpses of a couple of bits.
Jack, you might want to check out this monitor.
Yes, ma'am. But there's a lot of things to look at. Probably a lot of things to read. Okay, William Joyce, October 8th, 2016 at 10:38 a.m. From William Joyce to Beth Wilder. Where are you? Beth, the time has arrived. It's here. Everything you warned me about is about to come to fruition. Please give me a sign that you're still out there. Put my mind at ease. Tell me you have the countermeasure. I'm losing my mind here. I spent years trying to convince myself that you were wrong all this time and that I built the countermeasure for nothing. I tried to move on, pick up the pieces, but now I have seen the proof. Paul Serene has brought me in to advise on the experiment at the university. They've built it. They've built another time machine, almost exact replica of my own design, but with key flaws in the calculations, just like you said. If they activate this machine, then the fracture will occur. How is this possible? How have they followed my design so closely? Somebody's been watching me all this time, haven't they? Somebody's orchestrating this. All of it. I'm being followed. At first I thought it was paranoia, but it's true. A man has been watching my every move. I secretly took his photo and ran a search. His name is Liam Burke. He works for a security division of Monarch Solutions. I first noticed it weeks ago, but this could have been going on for years. What does he want? What does he know? How is he connected to this? I need answers. I don't know who I can trust anymore. I don't know who else is involved, what they want, why. I need to hear from you. I need to know that I'm not alone in all of this. If what you once told me is true, then the onset of the fracture may be inevitable, but I can't simply stand by and allow it to happen, not until I know the countermeasure is safe. So there's a version of Beth Wilder out there that knows everything, and is the Beth that reached out to Will to kind of tell him about everything that's going on, and it's not the one that we're dealing with right now. So at some point, our Beth gains all of this knowledge of everything that we're knowing. So like probably going through the journey with Jack, right? We know parts of it, but we're learning more of it, obviously. At some point, we get to know everything that's happening, at least the fullest picture that we can get. And this is when Beth reaches out to Will in the past from now, right, from 2016. So we're going to learn more stuff. We're going to figure things out. Beth now, with us, at some point, is going to reach out to Will in 2010 or earlier maybe to get him to do something that will affect our future now, like building the countermeasure or something. Well, if he's already talking about it in that video in 2010, then she reaches out to him prior to that so he has time, and by the time that 2010 rolls around, they need to know that everything is going towards a future they feel is safer than what's coming. Oh my goodness. To Beth Wilder from William Joyce. This is a few days prior. Where are you? I've seen it. The cause of the fracture exists. It's here. Are you still out there? Okay, to Beth Wilder from William Joyce, July 3rd, 2012. So this is 4 years prior to the messages that we just read. I've given up hope that you're still listening. I'm not sure why I'm writing this. Maybe time to get closure. You changed the course of my life when you entered it. I spent over a decade devoted to your cause. I sacrificed every relationship I had, pushed away everyone I love, all in the name of a lie. There is no threat coming. There never was. I have to force myself to believe this. It's the only way to move on. It's the only way to pick up the pieces and start over. This is goodbye. So this is him having an existential crisis. She reached out to him. He was doing all this work for over a decade. nothing happened and he gave up hope in it. And then all of a sudden it did happen. And now he's panicking to try and catch up on it and make sure that everything will be okay. Okay, and then prior to this, I almost feel like I should read it the other way. Okay, let's read it from backwards. So July 5th, 2010. So this is 6 years prior to the messages that we just read. At the top, anyway. It's gone. The countermeasure is gone. What happened? Call me immediately. So they're already working together at this point. And then he's still trying to contact her. July 5th, 2010. Where are you? Have you taken it? It's not safe in the open. You don't understand the power of this device. I dialed the number you gave me in case of emergencies. You aren't answering. What is going on? I'm freaking out. I'm still trying to call you. So the same day. Next day. Fuck. Call me. Email me. Something. Alright? And then a couple days later, I can't sleep. Please call me. And then almost a month later, the number you gave me is now disconnected. Where are you? Hello? Okay, and then more. Again, a couple months later. Hello? And then... oof. Definitely a year. It has been a year. I still haven't heard anything from you. You know where to find me. And then he has the meltdown. So she probably unintentionally ghosted him, right? Things got disconnected. And then he gives up on everything. This is what we just read. I've given up hope that you're still listening. I'm not sure why I'm writing this. And he tries to say goodbye. And then October 4th, so some years later, 4 years later, everything starts to kick into motion. The cause of the fracture exists. It's here. That's when he discovers that Paul built a machine that's exactly like his, that is built on erroneous calculations that's going to cause a fracture in time. He realizes that that's real and everything's going to get fucked up. And this is where he explains that, which is what we read at the top. Interesting. We're getting the timeline. We're building the timeline of events that caused this to happen. It's a little kind of like chicken or the egg kind of a situation, like 2010, but then 1999, but then 2016 back to 1999, and then he's building things until 2010. Shit goes haywire in 2010, but not enough because we know that nothing happens until 2016, so he's got a lot of faith in her, I will say, to be doing that for over a decade with no proof? Well, I don't know what she shows him, so maybe he knows.
The schematics for the countermeasure spanned 11 years, 1999 to 2010. In itself, that wasn't strange. But the guy built a working time machine in 2.
The guy that built a working time machine in 2 years? I don't know that I follow that one. Schematics!
These schematics are all in Will's writing. He did all of this. Built everything.
Monarch was made aware of its existence shortly after it was completed. In 1999.
1999.
They believe it was destroyed shortly after. I imagine Will wanted to keep it that way.
Because Paul set up Monarch Solutions 17 years ago. Which would be 1999, right? Because it's 2016. So 16 years ago would be 2000 minus 1, 1999, exactly. So Paul went back to know everything from the beginning, which is how he knew it worked, but also where he got it from, right? If he thought everything was destroyed, and he went and bought... In 2010, they bought the warehouse that was Will's old workshop. And he moved everything here in 2010 as well. So he must have tried to get a hold of the schematics from Will's workshop and got maybe most of it, but not all of it, which is why his time machine went haywire.
The corridor. It's key activated. Will's key. It says the time machine core needs to be reset.
Great. What the hell's it look like?
Oh.
A round thing in the middle. Think.
Bruh, let's not pretend to know how to work the time machine. We saw what happened last time when that happened.
Hey, Nick.
What the hell am I looking at?
The Stargate.
The time machine.
Fuck off! That was totally my second guess.
It's valid.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. I mean, of course I'm gonna take selfies with the time machine. It's a goddamn time machine. But I won't post anything.
It's even funnier that she's like
All right,
so far away.
I'm on it.
It's even funnier. Okay, let's look at
Okay.
this.
Gotta figure out where to start.
It looks like the Stargate,
Where
to
are
be
the
honest.
core controls?
Cord connects 1 to 24. Setup schematic, something, something. Chronon flow, put flow to 2.4. I have a feeling that we need to keep track of something with these schematics. That's why they give them to us, like, close.
It's a hell of a thing, huh?
Jesus, look at this thing. One guy built all that? No way that's possible, man. It took me 5 months to build a shitty birdhouse. You think he had help? I'll bet a lot of guys got paid under the table to get this thing running.
Maybe. Although we saw the vision in the warehouse that he did do at least most of it himself.
Will received a massive research grant in 1997. He'd successfully built the time machine by 1999. But the results scared him. He never told a soul.
Ah, that's what he means by 2 years. Okay, that makes more sense then. Because he was like, he built it in 2 years, but we're talking about a span of decades. But I guess it scared him, but it took him decades to know that it worked. Like, for real worked, right? And that he was gonna mess with it and actually mess with time. Physicist on the Rise article. Riverport Physicist on the Rise, June 4th, 1997. Dr. Joyce and Dr. Meyer became household names earlier this year when their paper on the existence of a chronon field became one of the most hotly debated theories in the quantum physics community since Higgs boson. William Joyce, born and raised in Riverport, wasn't satisfied with simply being part of the discussion and decided to actively search for proof. His proposed research project led him to obtaining the highly prestigious Harold Steinberg Fund with an estimated value of $150,000. Dr. William Joyce is officially the youngest recipient of the Harold Steinberg Research Grant to date. While the specifics of the research grant proposal remains confidential, it is likely that Joyce aims to demonstrate clear proof that the so-called Meyer-Joyce field, as well as potential applications for the manipulation of this field. A research timeline has been established with milestones that point to early 1999 as the period when this research will be ready for public unveiling. We will continue to follow William Joyce's story as part of our Riverport Rising series. There you go. Interesting. Oh, more switchies and doohickeys.
I can't activate the core till it's reset.
Aha, yes. That was the pull the lever thing that Paul had us do, right? Okay. It's very interesting that it's in a swimming pool.
Need to find a way to reset the core first.
Yes, sir. I'm just interacting with things that are available to poke. Okay. Not yet.
No, nothing I can make sense of.
But I do see another paper. A Civilian's Guide to Time Travel. A Civilian's Guide to Time Travel, cliche working title, by William Joyce. Rough Ideas, February 28th, 1999. Alright, Adams. Douglas Adams. Opening statements. Open with a zinger. Schrodinger cat joke? Note. Find appropriate accompanying cat photo. Note. No cat photo. No science explained here. Marketing bullshit. Time machine equals works. Implications. It's limitless. Give me your money spiel, build up the existence of the time machine, content here dependent on findings from first human test later tonight. Ooh, I wonder if he made himself the guinea pig. Findings. Facts dumbed down for the mouth breathers who will inevitably want to invest. Purpose of the guide, to explain to mouth breathers how the machine works and why. Note, Proofread and delete all mouth breather references. Yeah, I don't think they'll appreciate that. Time machine overview. How research started. Include gratuities for research grant, sucking ass, community, and investors. Note, also thank Jack for his patience. Now that this is over, I promise to be there for him. Note to personal. Basic overview of the time machine. Parts. Chronon particles. Note, nobody will give a shit about this or understand it, so skip it. How time travel works, simplest terms. This seems like it'll be useful for us. Okay. Subject activates the time machine. Step 1, core. Step 2, the corridor. Subject sets the desired time travel date. Subject enters the corridor. Compare the corridor to a donut in shape to explain. Note, add joke, you don't want to eat this donut or your body will suffer terminal chronon saturation leading to your slow but inevitable death. Cut the joke, it's disturbing. Subject walks around the corridor. Walking clockwise around the corridor, you travel to the future. Walking counterclockwise around the corridor, you travel to the past. Clock-like design. Subject arrives in a new time, in future or past. Okay, I have a couple questions here. If you set the time in the beginning, right, you set the desired time travel date, so I want to travel 5 minutes into the future. And I guess I walk into the corridor and the corridor is already going clockwise, or do I have to choose the direction in which to walk? If that's the case, can you fuck things up and say, like, I want to go into the future, but I'm gonna walk counterclockwise? My guess would be that the machine bends, right, towards the time that it wants to go towards. So if you say future or not, it will bend clockwise or counterclockwise. That would be my guess, but it kind of implies that there's almost two confirmations of what time you go through. Space-time continuum, travel across space. Time travel is not a portal. Spatial destination will not always be the same as the entry point. Time travel is tied to a rotating black hole core. Explain the core first? No, fuck it. Just compare the core to a car engine. Look up info on car engines. Subject will arrive in the future or the past at the location where the time machine and the core were located in that time. You cannot travel to a time when the time machine and the core are not active. Cannot travel to a time before the core was activated. Okay, that kind of solves my question in the very beginning, because Paul said when we first did this, when the fracture occurred, Paul was like, you enter here and you exit on the other side, which I think I said it in the video, in the first one, that implies that there's like another exit, right? You don't just like materialize in thin air somewhere. It has to come out of the machine because you're walking through the corridor, which means that that corridor has to exist on the other end. And if it doesn't, then that's a problem. So the time machine was invented by the time 1999 rolled around, right? He started building it, we can say 1997, which is what they were applying, and in 2 years he built it. So time machine exists between 1999 and now, essentially. So that's the only span of time that we can travel to, if that makes sense. Which is why the dates keep bouncing back and forth. So in order to try and, like, I guess maybe one-up each other, the earliest Paul could travel to was 1999, right? That's when he set up Monarch Solutions, which makes sense. But then Beth and maybe some of the others traveled within that time period to try and help the timeline. But everything's kind of gone screwy. Oh my god. Okay. Examples of how time travel works. In 1999, a time machine core is first activated. The time machine is located on an island. In 2000, the same time machine with the same core is moved to a circus tent. Teddy enters the time machine in 1999 and travels to 2000. He exits the time machine and is in the circus tent. Use better examples, no circus tent. Teddy cannot travel to a time before 1999 because the core was not active. Will bang my goddamn head against the wall every time somebody uses the example of not being able to go back and kill Hitler to try and sound clever or funny. A dinosaur joke, though? Explain you can't go back and see the dinosaurs. Fucking sucks. Okay, closed loops. In theory, all actions resulting from time travel equal already accounted for. I mean, that's the paradox, right? If you're going back in time, things... Well, this is the conundrum, though, right? Because... I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. But really quickly, this is the conundrum. This is the problem I always have with time travel. Have you guys seen Harry Potter? This is the best way I can explain it. So, in Harry Potter 3, there's obviously the time travel aspect of it, right? And they're in Hagrid's hut trying to avoid being seen by Dumbledore and the other people coming, right? Harry gets a rock thrown at his head, and he realizes that he needs to leave because he looks out the window because that's where the rock came from, and he goes, oh shit, and then they need to leave. But in the first timeline that we experience with them, he still gets the rock thrown at his head, and it's implied later that it's Harry from the future warning Harry from the past that there are people coming, and he throws the rock at himself, right? And it hits him in the head, and he goes, oh shit, there's people coming, I gotta leave. But the problem is like, the very first rock ever that gets thrown at his head shouldn't be Harry. Do you know what I mean? I'm going insane. Okay, in theory, all actions resulting from time travel are already accounted for. You should not be able to change the past. Any attempt to change things was always a part of the chain of events in the first place. It already happened. Explain Novikov self-consistency principle until your head goes pop. Mine's about to explode. Okay, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, you shouldn't be able to change the past because everything is accounted for because it's already happened. But how did it already happen the first time? Do you know what I mean? Without the influence of the time machine. Because in theory, something has to set the first timeline going, and then everything splinters after that. So how does that one start and not be influenced by anything that happens with the time machine, but at the same time everything is already accounted for because the time machine exists and time is simultaneous and everything's happening anyway? Metaphor to explain closed loops. Time is an egg. You can move the egg, but no matter where you move it, the same chicken will hatch. Terrible example, plus you could just eat the fucking egg. What? An egg is sitting on a table. You have to leave the room. Come back, and the egg is broken on the floor. You aren't sure how this happened, but it saddens you. The egg was important to you because, insert reason that makes sense later here, you travel to a past to prevent the egg from breaking. When you arrive in the past, you rush over to the table and accidentally bump it. The egg falls and breaks. You cause the very thing you tried to prevent. Close the loops. Why the hell do all my examples end up about being eggs? Replace the egg with something else. Okay, but that's what I'm talking about. The first time the egg breaks can't be something that hasn't happened yet. To me, it doesn't make any sense that the egg has to exist on the table, something has to break it, and then you go back in the past, and it's you breaking it. How can that exist if it hasn't happened yet? How can you go back to the past to break an egg that already broke because of you? I mean, I know that's why it's called a paradox, and that's why it's like, it's screwed up, because there's no end and no beginning, because the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning. I get that. I understand that that's like the thing, and like that's the whole point of the Ouroboros, and creation is recreation and things like that. But in my brain, I want there to be like a start, and then the loop starts after that, and then it's looping forever. But I suppose that's just my brain trying to be super linear. Does that make sense? Probably doesn't make sense. I was worried about this falling down the hole. Alright, let's go look around. There's one more thing that we need to find. Is it in the toilets? In the loo? In the restroom? That's a no. That looks creepy. Okay, so there's a lot of machine stuff around. Oh, hello. Also, there's like 5 more core things that we need to find as well. There's a couple more of those things. Any papers? What's that? Ooh. Paper here. Parents killed in Riverport car crash. December 22nd, 1999. Parents killed in Bradbury car crash. Holiday cheer is in short supply in the Riverport community of Bradbury after a tragic car accident claimed the lives of married couple Anthony and Catherine Joyce. The accident took place within the walking distance of the family's front door on Princeton Street in the early afternoon. Catherine Joyce, who was driving, lost control of their car after a collision with another vehicle and crashed into a utility pole. The other car left at the scene of the accident. I swear, if it's gonna be like a Civil War type of thing, and Paul is the one who drove the car who killed their parents, I'm gonna be a little mad about it. Or it's probably gonna be like us, like we're driving through and it's gonna be like us in the taxi with Nick, and then we drive past it and it's us who kills our own parents. That would suck so bad. The Joyces were both well known in the Bradbury area as prominent members of the community. Last year, they were recognized by the mayor for their charity efforts, particularly the Riverport Multiple Sclerosis Walk. They have organized every year since 1993. The couple left behind 2 children, the promising young physicist Dr. William Joyce and Jack Joyce, who is still underage. Candlelight vigil will be held for Anthony and Catherine on Sunday to unite the grieving family, friends, and the community during this tragic time. Okay, so that's what happened to our parents. That's very sad, and that's all the things. We found it. I don't see any shiny Chronon sources around yet, so let's go down and meet Beth, who is at the core. Hello! How's it going, ma'am? This seems a little wet down here. Warning, core not activated. Is there anything else? Oh no. Okay, we activate the core then. Let's do it.
Hey, it looks like I can reset the core from here.
Are you sure you know what you're doing there?
No clue. But I did help Paul set up the machine at the university.
Which then caused the fracture.
Look, Will knew the calculations were wrong. I'm hoping that means he knew what he was doing here.
Technically, Paul set it up and you watched.
This is what Will was leading us to. We have to test it.
But I suppose he could have memorized it.
That's what we set up first.
Oh boy. Okay, so
This could actually be the key to finding the countermeasure.
maybe so.
We'll see. It's still resetting.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. Oh, this is a trap. It is.
The core is reset. We need to activate it from the control booth.
I think the control doohickeys right here.
It is indeed. And there's this one too.
The key fits. Looks like I have to do something else first.
So that's the final thing. So we need to flip the switch over where Nick is, and then come back and hit that button. Hello, sir.
It's a hell of a thing, huh?
So he says the same thing. Okay.
Here goes nothing.
Yes, indeed. Going up. Very heavy lever.
What was that?
Oh, shit's gonna get weird.
It's fine. It's fine.
So we want to set it to yesterday. Oh no, we're gonna fuck with
It worked.
everything.
It actually worked. Okay, we activate the corridor next.
Oh god.
Jesus, look at that thing go!
Are we gonna do a test like 5 minutes? Or we're just winging it and going to yesterday before everything happened? Oh boy. Oh, there's the corridor.
Yeah.
This is cool.
That's my brother in a nutshell.
He left it in a fucking trunk.
That didn't sound good.
Fuck. Let's just hope it still works.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. It's going like... The sirens are never good. Set the date. Oh, shit. So when do we want to set this for, though? I guess it's over here? Do you say the same thing now, or are you just tripping?
You seem to be taking all this surprisingly well.
It's true.
Don't get me wrong, this is weird as fuck, but it beats being back in that room with two asshats holding a gun to my head.
I would say
Fair enough.
Also, he's like into this, right? He's into conspiracy theories and stuff, so like he was wanting something like this to be real, right? So I think he's stoked. I'm sure he's gonna freak out about it later. Oh boy. So are we doing it?
Here says date input.
Yes, sir.
No. Yeah,
What?
that might be it. God damn it.
Fail
I
to
don't
set.
know. We were so close.
Malfunction.
I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah, like hell you are. You saw what happened. Something's wrong with the machine.
We don't know that.
You're not trained for this.
Correct.
Anything you do is gonna make it worse.
We
You
can't.
know I'm right.
Stop trying.
You lost people. You're angry. I get it. But this is bigger than us. We can't fix the machine.
We can't.
But I might know somebody who can. Sophia Amaral.
No.
The Monarch scientist. I saw her video near Ground Zero.
Serene's head of Cronin Research. She'll be at the Monarch Gala tonight, but security's airtight. She'll be nearly impossible to get to.
Unless I have an invite. Paul told me he expected me to meet him at that party.
Something tells me that was not a friendly invitation. Jack, no.
We're gonna walk right in. Literally, though. But she's not gonna willingly help us. There's no way. Dr. Amaral? We're gonna end it there? Fuck. The cliffhangers, damn. It's good, though. I like it. It's really fascinating, but it's like trippy as hell. Like, it's always that case, right? Because it's like chicken or the egg. I don't know why it goes back to eggs, too. I have the same problem as Will. I don't know that Dr. Sophia Amaral would help us, though. Because she seems like pretty wedded to Paul and his cause. Like, she's treating him. Her note implies that, like, she actually cares about it. On top of the research, of course, and stuff. But, like, seems to, like, really be concerned. And now that could just be that, like, she's very convinced of his power in a way, because for one, he does have the actual powers, like physical powers, just like Jack, but also, right, his knowledge of the future makes him an invaluable person, especially in terms of science, right? What does he know, how this happened, and how everything is coming to fruition, the fracture in time, right? All of that is what she's dedicated her life to, and she's got somebody willing to basically give her the keys, major keys to that type of research and stuff. So I don't doubt that that's a big part of why she cares about him so much. But if she has a relationship with Beth, maybe that can help, right? That they're friends somehow or something like that. But I have a feeling that we're gonna have to convince her to give us that knowledge without her knowing it, or we're gonna have to show her some evidence that Paul's evil as shit. We need Nick's phone with all the photos. That'll change anybody's mind. So we found out a lot about Liam Burke in this episode. We found out more about our past, in particular our parents, and obviously a lot about Will and what he's been up to for the past 17 years. And that everything was simultaneously triggered and made worse by the events of now, right? This October 2016, when all of hell broke loose with the time fracture, is both the beginning and the end of everything, which we definitely know, but at the same time, all of our efforts to go back and change things are exactly what's caused the thing that we're trying to stop to happen. I think the countermeasure will be something that, like, stops the loop, if that makes sense, like stops the paradox from happening and lets time progress out of the loop. That would be the only thing I could guess that the countermeasure does. We'll have to figure it out when my brain is less combusted. I'm so caught up in the time travel element and trying to, like, make sense of something that you really can't make sense of because it's a paradox, that I can't even think about predicting the rest of what's gonna happen. But I love everybody so far. I love Nick, he's so funny, and I love Jess is perfect. Or sorry, not Jess. Beth Wilder is perfect, just as she is. I'll be really eager to see more of Paul and Martin Hatch in the next junction that is coming up. We're going to have to make more choices. We kind of set Paul on the path of evil, so, you know, there's that, and I'm very excited to get to the rest of it. So if you guys are ready for Act 2 and ready to hear the end of my spieling, we'll get to the junction with Paul. It will be right over here, which will be the next episode 2 as well, and the next act will be right over here when that is ready as well. I am in the past, headed to the future, and I hope you guys are too. See you in the next one.